everybody. So a lot of you have asked me about how to start modeling and how to set up a career. And that question is very interesting because it bothered me a lot when I was in the very same place you are when you're asking that question. I was just starting out with no contacts. I was in a new city and I didn't know anybody. Neither does anyone want to help you. Nobody wants to help you on this. So you've got to do it on your own. So it was very tough, and I know where you're speaking from, and I'm here today to talk about my journey, and maybe it can help you to know where and how to start on your own modeling career. So I've already told you my story, but this is a few of the things that I actually did to get an agency, and you can just take it as advice. Of course, a lot of common sense has to be used. So don't take what I say as the law and this is how it needs to be done, but it's the way that I've done it, and definitely there are shortcuts. So this is my side of the story, and as a matter of fact, I will give you a very big shortcut towards the end of this video, which I think can cut the whole process straight in half. So I hope that wasn't too loud. Okay, anyway, to start off with where and how I started. So as I told you, I was working 2 jobs. I was in a designing company. I was actually an event company, and I was graphic designing from 11 in the morning till 6 p.m. in the afternoon. And whenever I had a break or an opportunity, I would open Google and type in, okay, what are the top 10 agencies in Mumbai? What are the top 20 agencies in Mumbai? Then I would grab their email addresses, I would grab their phone numbers. Next thing, what I figured out I needed to do was to have a profile to send to them, like good profile pictures, which these clients can see and say, okay, we want to hire this girl. Because I didn't have any profile pictures. And at that time, I had no fashion sense. I didn't know how to straighten my hair, so my hair was always kind of frizzy. I didn't know how to do makeup. So I just suggest that there's a lot of research to be done for those of you that are starting on a modeling career. So do your research, learn these little basics, and I guess I'll drop a video on how to dress for a casting or an audition or a meeting, so you can check that out at some point. But yeah, just do your research and be ready for the things that are coming up, because when things start falling in place, they really start happening fast. So how I started, I got these numbers and email addresses. Then I figured out I needed to have a good profile. So I had a friend who was a photographer, and he was a very close, trusted friend of my family. So I planned with him for a day he was free, and I had another friend who was good at styling. She wasn't a stylist, she was good at styling, and she had some idea of makeup. So me and these 2 friends, we were in Goa on a vacation. So we decided, okay, let's shoot a profile. So we put together 5 different looks. I guess I had a bikini look, I had a few high fashion looks, and that was about it. So we just found different outdoor locations. We shot there through the whole day, and I was pretty happy with my work. But now that I look back, I'm like, wow, that wasn't a great profile, but it was a start, and definitely it got me somewhere. I guess if you Google right now, like, what are the different pictures in a model's profile? Google's gonna show you a few references, like you need a face shot, you need a smiling shot, you need a full body shot, you'll need a few high fashion shots, you might need a bathing suit shot. Well, bathing suit's not mandatory in India, but still, you need these few shots. So try to put together at least 5 different looks, like maybe high fashion, casual, very nude makeup look, and maybe, very natural one, maybe just headshots, and try to do that with a trusted photographer. Now, I'm saying trusted because there's a lot of scammers out there, and I met all these people when I was just starting, and they'd be like, oh, let's have coffee and discuss this shoot, or let's shoot here. And if you don't know that person, and if you've not seen their profile, if nobody knows who they are, please don't go. Please be very careful, because there are a lot of scammers and people willing to cheat you out there. And I wouldn't say to trust. Just be super careful who you shoot with, who you trust, who you meet, where you go for castings. Just be really careful. So back to it. Me and my friends, we did this profile, and it was okay. We did way too much makeup, and guys, too much makeup is not happening. Anyway, Yeah, we did that. The best shots that worked for me was when this friend in her living room, I had like no makeup, I was wearing casual clothes, and she just shot me in the afternoon light. I was doing some poses, like I was smiling, I was laughing, I was posing, my hair was unstraightened, and it looked really good. So those were the pictures that clients actually chose and that gave me jobs on those pictures because they liked it. It was natural. I looked modelly, I looked international. So just do your research. This app called Pinterest is good if you were to type in, model photography, model poses. You're going to get a lot of good international stuff. Okay, so I had my profile. Then when I'm sitting in my office, I Googled what are the top 20 agencies in Mumbai. I took my profile and I wrote a little letter. It was like, hi, my name is Anjali Shmuk. I'm 24 years old. I'm 5.8 feet tall. I'm coming from Bangalore and I've seen your agency. You look really great. I'd love to set up a meeting. So I did all that. A lot of rejections because the profile wasn't great. Secondly, I was just starting out. So I think like one or two messaged me back, and one agency was like, you need to pay us such and such, and it was a very large amount. And they were like, just to be a part of our agency, you need to pay us. And these people weren't even training me. They just wanted me to pay them just like that. And they were like, make it fast, make the payment fast. Guys, don't do stuff like that. If an agency is asking you to pay them for being part of that agency and they're not good, and you don't know anything about them and they've not done great work, don't just go ahead and pay them. So you really need to do your research. Okay, so I waited and waited, and there was a lot of struggling, a lot of not really just struggling, just a lot of waiting for the right opportunity. But I just kept doing my homework. I kept working out, and guys, fitness is a must because honestly, whereas there are different types of models and plus size is great if you are that size, but just know that there's a lot of girls out there who are fit and willing to take those jobs. So you've got to compete with them. That's why I'm saying fitness is great. So when I'm waiting for my agency, I'm working out every day and I'm making everything count. I'm taking care of my skin, which is another thing for you guys out there. And finally, I would get like these audition calls. So there's a place in Mumbai where you can just walk in and give walk-in auditions. It's called Aram Nagar and it's in Versova and Andheri West. So if you go to Aram Nagar, there's a lot of studios where young people and models are walking in and giving auditions. So then clients started calling me back and saying, okay, come, we're doing another audition, come for this one. So finally I started doing really good in that. And I got finally a part in, like as a model in the film Sui Dhagal. So I knew, okay, this is a legit role because Varun Devan's there, Anushka Sharma is there, and it was legit. So I was like, cool, I'll do it. So I went for that, and finally, after all this time, a director spotted me and said, you know what, let's take you to a good agency. And that's when I met my first agency and I sat face to face in a meeting. So I got into that meeting, I got signed in my first agency, and I started doing real work. So that's how you can start. I would say you need a profile, you need to know the top 10 agencies in your city and make sure they're good. Make sure they're not liars and they're not going to cheat you in any way, because I really wouldn't want that to happen to you. So just make sure that you counsel with your parents, you counsel with your friends, you counsel with other models if you can, and make sure that's a good agency for you to go to. But that's how I started. I got the top 10 agencies, sent them my mails, and one of them responded. I joined them, and from there I just kept growing as a person, as a model. I kept learning how to groom myself, and more opportunities just started coming to me from there.